sure what?
Second down, 6. Tagovailoa laces one upfield. It's Waddle once again. He's in a big game.
It's a touchdown.
Tua is 100th career touchdown.
This is the Big Spinful postgame show.
How's everybody feeling?
Here we go. We're live here. Sorry, Dolphins.
False start.
False start again. Usually.
Oh, man.
Usually have a big rant to go on and stuff like that. I'm all discombobulated here. Dolphins lose a heartbreaker, if you want to say 33-27. It was an entertaining game. I will say that, back and forth. My emotions were up and down. Game started. I was like, here we go again. No possession in the first half. Dolphins all of a sudden kind of got like a little life into them. They started with emotion and isolating guys. And I thought, okay, McDaniel adjusted. Here we go. And the defense, again, to me, didn't hold up. More penalties, bad clock management by the head coach, timeouts for no reason. This loss, to me, we're going to get into it, guys, is on the defense solely. Anthony Weaver refuses to adjust on the freaking zone coverage, run-man coverage. These guys cannot play zone coverage. You're going to give up a big play or two in man, but everything is open in the middle of the field. Everything is open. And McDaniel, again, this loss probably wasn't bad enough for him to lose his job. We'll get into all that. This is on the defense. Can somebody tell me where Zach Sealer is? Tyrell Dotson's awful. Mika Fitzpatrick's not impactful. Tua was better. The offensive line, I don't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to hear nothing about the offensive line. They gave up some sacks. This is not on the offensive line. Bobby, I know you're frustrated. You want to cook. Brother, go ahead. You're up. By the way, it was a pleasure meeting you, Bobby, in the dive bar. It was great. We'll talk about that later. But it was like we knew each other for a while when I met you, is what I expected. But go ahead and cook, brother.
Yeah, you shouldn't have brought up the show Friday because that made me a little happy. But, dude, I'd say the offensive line is the only thing not to complain about today. I mean, considering what we showed up with, the offensive line really wasn't a liability. I mean, I don't even know what to say right here. Like, I think that the offense did well as when you look at 27 points, but considering how many opportunities we had and how many times we could have scored, you go to the end of the game, Tua runs out of bounds on a 3rd and 12. You run out of bounds. You don't even attempt anything. Dude, the game's on the line, bud. You can't duck off and run out of bounds and play the game's over. And then you take a sack. And, dude, I got nothing. This is over. Like, Josh Allen's going to – I just tweeted this. If Ross has any balls and he really isn't just riding off into the sunset with this group, the Bills are going to end this Dolphins era of football Thursday night. It's going to be a stomping, curb stomping. It's going to be ugly. These boys are going to get rolled up. Barring some kind of miracle that I do not foresee happening, Thursday night, this era of football should be over. No doubt about it. You get 10 days to figure out who's going to be your interim, and it ain't Coach Weaver. That's out too. That's gone. That was a cool thing. He let that get to his bald head, I guess, because his defense sucks. That's over. Hire Sammy. At least you'll have good morale in the building.
My brother, last week I was mad. This week I'm not as mad just because, I saw a lot, like Jason says, a lot of hopium around, even with the banner flying across over Hard Rock Stadium. I see a lot of hopeful saying that the Dolphins had a chance to bounce back today. But this is a mess. There's when something is okay, something else breaks. There's no way they can catch a break. You have a chance with a kick punt return to give the Dolphins a lead, and then this team is not focused. They allow a touchdown back. 12 seconds in the game, back a touchdown again, and then A-Chain, all he had to do was focus on where he is a little bit, and that's a touchdown. and we probably win this game. This is what happens when a team is not focused, when a team basically is not well coached. The management today with the timeouts and the penalties, late game, every single week we talk so many times about. But I can imagine too. Like I said it before. I think Adrian copied me, but Adrian, if you're on the chat, you copied my bro because I said that two us in the headset, and my dad said, white right, white, and then the clock started running 10 seconds, 5 seconds, timeout. What? Come on, guys. There's no way you're gonna have so many plays, and basically they did not call some. The zero was the clock was a zero a couple of times, and the referees allowed the Dolphins to have a break because at least 2 more times it happened, and the referees did not throw the flag. So the Dolphins got lucky at least 2 more times. But it is what it is. I know people want Mike McDaniel fired. I'm on the record. I'm willing to say it today. I don't care. I don't think Stephen Ross is gonna fire Mike McDaniel during the season. So I think this is the head coach he's liked the most since he's been the owner. He's not gonna fire him. He's gonna allow him to do whatever. After the season, we'll see. But everybody thinks that Mike McDaniel is gonna fire the season. I'm not one of those. I want to make. If he fires him, I was wrong. But I want to be in the record say I don't think he will. But I always say on Fizz TV, the definition of craziness is to continue doing the same things and expect a different result. And as fans, that's what we do too. The Dolphins keep doing the same things, and we keep doing the same things, and we expect a different result. This is the same as always. So no news here.
Jason Sarney, go ahead.
There was 12 seconds that I thought that we were going to win this game after Malik Washington returned that punt. And then when Gibson took it back, I
12 seconds. A-Chain and
No. I mean, even when A-Chain scored, something wasn't – it was just, all right, something's got to happen. The rug's got to be pulled out from under us. But throughout this entire game, when you have 10 penalties and you're not the most penalized team and still lose – something is very, very wrong. And corrections were not made from last week. Defensively, you mentioned it, George. They're not a zone team. Play man. Ollie Gordon was on the field for 2 plays in terms of touches. And each time he made a first guy miss and he showed toughness. That would have been nice to see a bit more of. Nick Westbrook-Akine, get him more involved earlier in the game. Same thing happened last week. I mean, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but this guy made a couple of the 3 catches that he's made so far in the season, pretty tough plays, And
Tough.
The thing is, going into this week, I did not think that we were going to win. George, we were on with Sophie Wheeler. Sammy, I told you guys this is not going to be a win. And like I said, for 12 seconds, I was hoping that I was wrong. And then once that kick went back, I just said to myself, well, that was nice while it lasted. We ain't winning this game. And to Bobby's point, if it's a 42-10 game, I think they did pretty good in Buffalo because I think it's going to be to basically remember Goodfellas when Joe Pesci walks into the room and he gets capped to the back of the head. That's what Bill's Mafia is going to do to us when we get up there in Western New York. The tarp is already laid. I'm sounding the taps on the trumpet. And, George, we'll have a real good time preparing for the draft show.
Oh, guys, I'm already asking, who's your favorite quarterback? I'm ready to go.
Mateer.
Oh, Mateer. You like Mateer?
That's my guy right now.
So I got the graphics ready. I mean, we might have to start early, Jason. The on-season might have to come on early. But speaking of, we talked about the matchups. Tua bounced. I think Tua, threw the pick. He made some mistakes. But overall, he took advantage. He threw a lot better on, when they were running. And I said on that show with Curtis, and the guys need to check out that show. Curtis is great. I mean, we break down everything X's and O's. I mean, it was a fantastic show. But we said last week the Patriots ran cover 1 man coverage most of the league. And I said this week they might switch it up. It's what Vrabel did. He ran that Tampa 2 zone coverage kind of when he was with the Titans. And they did that. And I thought Tua started hitting those deep cutouts to Tyreek and Waddle. That's where it's open. I thought he was better in the middle of the field. Last week was horrendous.
Jesus Christ.
And I said they can't get there with 4-man rush. And for the most game, they didn't, right? They had to put pressure, and they still lost this game. I'm going to ask you guys this. We'll start with you, Sammy. For you, what out of this game concerned you the most? Is it the defense, clearly? Because to me, I'm 10 times more worried about the defense than the offense. They look like they changed some things, and they'll figure out how to isolate guys and get guys open. But to me, Anthony, you mentioned Anthony Weaver. Even if we fire tonight, Mike McDaniel, Anthony Weaver has to show me enough to be the head coach. But Sammy, is it the defense for you?
The stopping the run. They basically run us out of the Hard Rock Stadium.
Yes.
It's absurd the way they kept running the ball. The holes were there with power. They were running fast every single time they wanted to run the ball. They basically did. So that's disappointing. If they would have found out everything, the way everything fell with the injuries for both teams and everything, if they would have found a way to stop the run, the Dolphins probably win the game even with the mistakes they made. But they could not find a way to stop the run. It was basically absurd. And even with the corners of the Patriots falling down, every single one, the Dolphins could not find a way to pass the ball as well as they should have. So those things for me are very alarming. So it's gonna be really rough on Thursday in Buffalo. So I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got over on all platforms over 180 people watching. Make sure you guys come to YouTube, drop those likes, share the broadcast, hit the subscribe button, help us support us here. The chat is live here. There's I know Vrabel would anybody can outcoach Mike McDaniel right now. It's not. Shout out to Jake, Marty, obviously Adrian's in the house, Clown Prince, Cap for Life, everybody in the house. Thank you, Mike Albron, my cousin Mike. How you doing? All right. I wish Jonathan was here because Jonathan wore Zach Steeler shirts to your event. Bobby, they talk about stopping the run. Son, where has Zach Steeler been? He's been getting blown off the ball. The veterans on defense. It's not the young guys. It's their best players not playing well, Bobby.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks. I don't have anything, honestly. I don't know what the hell to tell you about this defense. It's actually needs to be studied. It needs to be put into a lab and really researched because it makes no sense on paper why the defense just looks like they got no ass in their pants. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like the defense, we forced our first punt of the season 6 minutes into the third quarter today. That's incredible. That's incredible. And dude, they can't stop anything. And I hate that we have to talk about the offense because they were put in a situation where they had to go win the game and they couldn't. That does have to be talked about. Unfortunately, if we score 27 points and win 27-13, you're thrilled about the performance today from the offense, but that's not the reality of it. That's not what happened. We can't just be like, they scored 27, so we're happy. The offense had opportunity after opportunity to go and win this game for this team. They could have said, you know what? Defense, y'all didn't do your job today. You didn't show up, but we got you. Sometimes you need that. You need to see one side of the ball to pull you through a bad week. And it could be all the difference in your season, but they didn't. Yeah, and then they have the penalty. You know, obviously, looking back, it's not Achan's fault, but Achan steps out of bounds. We really needed that touchdown there because you give us a chance to dodge a bullet, you know we're not gonna make it up twice. So we get the penalty. We had to waste our timeout, which luckily we got bailed out because of we got the delayed game. Then we had to waste our timeout, but luckily we got bailed out because there was an injury, so we got the timeout back. It's just the same old shit. It's like at this point, this stuff should not be happening. Like, I don't care. At one point in the game, I was like, we could win this game, and I feel no better. Like, honestly, you're just kicking the can down the road and like dodging the inevitable. Like, you're not supposed to be wrestling. Got your hands full with the Patriots at home week 2. This is not how it's supposed to go down. So that, and then on top of that, everything possibly going wrong that could go wrong still, just discombobulated, no rhythm, delay a game, wasted timeout, overshooting your receiver, running out of bounds with the game on the line. And then, of course, like every heartbreaking loss with the game on the line, Tua sacked. Blame that on whoever you want to, but it's just the Dolphins' way, and I'm tired of watching it.
Yeah, I think you said it best with kicking the can down the road. Unfortunately, like if it looked like the Indianapolis Colts game in those first couple drives for the Patriots, if it would have went that bad, I think you had a conversation that I think they could have got rid of McDaniel even before Buffalo. I mean, if it got that bad. What this does is it kicks it down the road. They played competitive. It was an up and down game. They played with effort. They showed a little life to come back. They didn't, just tank after they were down 12 or 15-0. They got back in it, but you said something too. Is Tua like? I know to me he's playing like he's afraid to get hurt. He's like, it's almost like he's doing one thing extreme or another. He doesn't know the middle, right? Oh, I have to get out of bounds, live to play another day, or run into the linebacker and get concussed. There's a middle there, son. You got to find it. This is the NFL. You got to make plays off script sometimes. Drake made, for as much as we talk about him, 2 great plays back-to-back. That avoid the sack and that throw to Ramondre Stevenson. Fantastic throw, fantastic catch. Then he rolls out, runs, and scores. You got to make those type of plays. Things are not perfect. You got to make, and that's to a ceiling. We know that. He's not going to run in throwing the picks. He was better. What was his stat line, I think, in this game? He had pretty good. Tua was 26 of 32, 315, 2 tutties, and interception against a secondary without Christian Gonzalez, 2 young safeties. In those penalties, you also mentioned, Bobby, those 2 drives, they had that completion of Malik and they had that penalty, brought him back. They needed to get 6 on one of those drives, if not both. And they came away with 2 field goals. So, that was that. Jason, your thoughts? Was it the run defense again poor? The veterans on defense particularly. I'm not going to talk about the corners. I don't expect much. Jason Marshall Jr. is a rookie. Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips in their second game. I got to watch the film. But to me, Zach Sealer, I'm not enough out of Chop Robinson. They're running at Chop Robinson. He got 1 sack, but consistently the pressure, it looks like he didn't get in the strength room. I'm expecting big things from Chop, but it's their best players again on defense. Jason, what do you think? What's going on there?
I mean, I was worried about Drake May's ability to pick up yardage and scoring plays with his legs. We saw that. I was worried, or not necessarily worried, but I would have liked them to see a lot more pressure against a left side that has 2 rookies, albeit Will Campbell, 4th overall pick, and you got Kid Wilson from Georgia. Will Campbell has like 3 or 4 false start penalties on him already. Pressure him, make him uncomfortable. And there was no creativity again on defense. And the veteran leadership, where is it? A lot of things went wrong today, where even if they got out with a win, we'd still be saying, all right, wish this would have been better, wish that would have been better. But the last play of the game, I know the pressure was kind of an interior breakdown, but wouldn't you want to have an extra man blocking in the backfield just in case? You want to have as many receivers as possible for a long 4th down potential conversion, but dead on arrival. Once you saw the pocket breakdown, there was who was going to escape? No. So it was just an uninspired effort overall with little glimpses of hope. But to Bobby's point, it takes you until the 3rd quarter to force a punt in week 2. I mean, the Dolphins historically were giving up more points on each possession than anyone in the Super Bowl era. Nobody did what they did last week in the Super Bowl era and let points be scored on every single possession, and it bled over to this week a little bit. So the running backs did their thing, and Ramondre Stevenson looked like Marshall Faulk today.
Looked like Derrick Henry.
I mean, that play was a beautiful play from May to Stevenson. You kind of have to tip your hat to them on that beautiful kind of fingertip catch there.
Oh, yeah, great throw.
It was a great throw and amazing play from not necessarily a pass-catching running back, but too many things we let New England get away with. They missed 2 extra points, 12 penalties, and they find a way to win the game. And Vrabel goes on to get his 3rd win and undefeated against the Dolphins. And this is a guy who just has the number for Miami. And I never see Mike McDaniel with a sense of kind of urgency. I always just kind of see him. It's almost like you're in class. You're not studying properly. You're retaining the information. You just want the clock to end and go to the next period. I just his days are numbered. And Sammy, I hope that, don't take this offensively. I think there's no chance McDaniel makes it through 0-3, 0-4. I mean, I don't know you fire him right going into a Buffalo short week. I mean, that's setting anybody up for absolute disaster on whoever an interim would be. But after that Buffalo game, you're going into a Monday night prime time nationally televised game against the Jets. which could be a decent time to kind of change the reins because you have a longer period of time to figure stuff out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then a full week going into Monday. So I'm looking at a dominating performance by the Bills on Thursday night in Western New York. And then upon touchdown back in Miami, another touch is going to be set up. And I think it's over for Mike McDaniel. And I don't mean to be like that. I really don't. But it's over.
So,
it's over for this regime.
Sammy, defend your ground here. Your reasoning why Mike McDaniel won't be let go no matter what this season.
I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to say, but just because of the fact that Stephen Ross is Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross doesn't want to go through this during the season. He just doesn't. And he's done it before, but not with Mike McDaniel. It's just what I believe. With you, Jason, you are correct. That's the right thing to do. That's what they should do. That there's no denying that. But I'm not advocating for them not to fire Mike McDaniel today or tomorrow or next week. I'm just saying that I don't think Stephen Ross is gonna do it. That's just my opinion. But they for sure they should think about it because the season might be salvageable just for respect alone. But I don't think Stephen Ross.
Look, at this point, I don't care about. Bobby said it. This thing is you're kicking the can. It's over. The McDaniel experiment's over. The Greer experiment's over. Whether you want to put him in another position in the front office, it's over. It's just a matter of it's not if, it's just when. I mean, at this point, do we just hope? I mean, I hate to say this because we got to do a ton of shows, but is it better if they don't get bounce back and win 7 or 8 games? You pick 12 overall. I mean, is it almost better, Bobby? You kind of mentioned is it almost better than almost tank now?
Yes. Also, my kids deserve their dad on Sundays. So yes, I hope that they don't try to act like they give a shit now because reality is, yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. They'll give us the 14th pick and have our hands tied again for another season. That's just ridiculous.
That's most likely the scenario that'll happen, by the way.
To looking back at it too, instead of putting a graphic out 24 hours after the season ended last year, they probably should have just fired everybody. Because at least when we're 0-2 right now, it would make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, okay, well, this is a rebuilding team. They got a first-year head coach. They cut a bunch of, heavy hitters off the roster. This makes sense. They traded Tyreek in the offseason. They didn't trade for Minka Fitzpatrick. Jonnu's going. Ramsey's going. They depleted the roster. Okay, so we know what we're looking at here. But they didn't. They revved us all the way back up again and said, strap up. We're going to do this one more time. And here we are like a bunch of crash dummies beating our head into the wall, ready to do it again. So also on the Ramondre Stevens, the wheel route, beautiful play. Obviously, can't take anything away from what they did. But does anybody run past sacks more than Jalen Phillips?
Oh,
that's a sack.
Here's the other thing. Everybody's talking. I'm not blaming the secondary either. My blame is that front seven. We came into this offseason knowing that everything was about this front seven. And if this front seven doesn't play well, this defense is bottom 5 and this team is bottom 5. I know Chubb got a sack. I mean, they're not winning individually one-on-one. Chop Robinson was on Morgan Moses on the right side basically the whole game. And do you guys – I don't know about you. What would you change? Would you like more pressure? I mean, I thought when they brought pressure, there was some success there. Both teams were penalized a lot. Sammy, what would you look if you're willing to change something on the defense? Is it bring more pressure or is it just personnel?
Bobby said something that I had to go back a little bit. Jalen Phillips is my daughter's favorite player, but I kid with her a lot every single time because in Spanish it's said casi, which means this close almost. And I call him casi every single time. I said I'm gonna get a jersey with number 15 that says casi because every single time he's close, but he's not there yet. So at the end of the day, basically spacing, execution. I don't know if they should have blitzed a little bit more but they're trying everything they can to rely on the pass rush to get pressure, but they're not getting there. And the fact was that they believed that they could create enough pass rush with the front seven for them to create enough spacing with the secondary that's basically faulty in every single way. So they had to be creative. They had to be trying to find ways to rush the passer, to get to the quarterback, to create turnovers. The Dolphins basically don't get any turnovers. That's the problem with this defense. They don't create any turnovers. They almost get turnovers, but just don't. So unless they can find a way to get turnovers at great pressure, we gotta keep getting cooked.
And to add to that, they've basically for this season so far, minus 2 drives, they've basically gave the other team 3 to 7 points every possession. You basically say, okay, the offense didn't score. Okay, just give the opposing team 7 points. Offense, get back on the field. Oh, our offense got 3. Give the other team 7 points. Let's see the offense again. They've basically just been a handicap for the team for 2 full games now. It's impossible to win like that. They've literally walked out there and just handed out points.
Yeah. Curtis, welcome, man. Curtis, I was referring to our show on Saturday. A lot of the things came through that we actually thought they would.
Sadly,
and they still launched it. I guess just go ahead and vent, man, and give your thoughts on this tough. I thought it was an entertaining game.
It was very entertaining. Got my head ready to explode.
Yeah, it wasn't like last week, but go ahead, give us your thoughts.
Look, you got a front that's got no back. You got a receiving group and quarterback with no offensive line. They blitzed 11% and they got 30% pressure rate. We folded because we have stuff. Unfortunately, our DI interior is not good, so we're able to run on us. But there's no way in an NFL league you could throw the ball 68% of the time, 1.5 seconds with a 10% blitz rate and get pressured the way you did. Sadly, Jonah sucked. Sadly, Borum sucked, which is kind of sort of understood, but we needed to run the ball more, but we couldn't. Keon sucked and Brewer struggled, and that was the thing that I've always feared about him. He has no junk in the trunk, and Paul struggled a little bit too in his run blocking. Tight end department was not good enough. We're just soft. Offensive line makes the NFL world go on. They were blitzed 40-something% of the time and had an 18% pressure rate. But the back end, Dotson played terrible. Marshall played terrible. Coverage wasn't there. They gave us the game practically, and then we had penalties. We had false starts. We had holdings, delay a game. McDaniel, to his credit, made an adjustment because we started out with like about 33% play action. And then he said, oh, they're not blitzing us. Let's put more guys in routes. And we started making hay. But that is,
right?
I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm getting excited.
Go. You go.
But the thing is that that was an elementary adjustment. And then after that, he just really, the offensive line restricted him, but I don't think he can make the higher level adjustments. And it's just, we should have won that Achane catch if he didn't step out. But gosh, they wanted to give us the game, the pass on the second down. Burn it down. It's time to burn it down. Greer's an imbecile. His concept of finesse ball, I'm nobody. I'm literally nobody. But I've been talking about for 3 or 4 years, the league's moved to pass balance, running the football, and he kept going with his finesse stuff. Fumble system. He sucks. I mean, it was a joke. It's a joke. And then McDaniel, too, I thought had a pretty decent game. He's not elite. He can't scramble. There was a couple of passes I wish he had back, but he made some darn good plays. But when you match it up with how they played us, he saw 7 guys in coverage 90% of the time. And it's just not tenable. It's just not tenable. This is a dysfunctional franchise with incompetent leadership, and now we lack talent. And so it's burn it down time, and just hope somehow, some way that Ross, he can do the right thing. It's just, when did they get fired? Now what's the next phase? So it's sad. It sucks. I had my guy PJ Bamonte there at the game. I was so excited. He was showing me the Washington kick. Return, how everyone excited everyone was. And, I knew we weren't going to win this season, but it was exciting. It was good. And we pissed all over it.
Yeah. Did you know? Remember we talked about what coverage they were going to run?
Yeah.
They went to that zone, right? They switched
heavy.
They were heavy man cover 1 last week.
No blitzing.
He hit on those deep outs, those deep cuts. He hit it well. So again, Tua he's not going to run. He was limited. He had a couple, the interception, but I actually disagree with you on the. I think the offensive line's down the list of the reasons why they won this game. Does anybody agree with me, or they agree with Bobby? Where do you kind of put the offensive line play? Jason, go ahead.
I mean, this is something offensive line play is something that I can't necessarily. I have to watch it again to give a very valid answer. You know, Tua had time. You know, look, without Achane as the safety valve, who the heck knows of how Tua's numbers would be? I mean, obviously his numbers were phenomenal, but you got to give a lot of credit to Achane being that safety net. And, you know, I can't necessarily put any blame or any praise on the offensive line, but, you know, I still wish they would have had more of a power component. If you're up, run, get some clock, get some ability. Twice.
Two plays he made, and it was positive plays. He had a penalty.
Correct. And again, it goes back to the arrogance from McDaniel from week one, answering a question like it's a fantasy football related question, and it's absolutely not. It's a toughness related question, and you can't even give Jeff Wilson a carry. You put him on, you know, by the goal line. You don't utilize him. It's unbelievable to me. There's so many things that are wrong with this team. And it starts from the top. You know, Chris Greer, when he took over officially, I really, truly think, you know, you mentioned the Dolphins way. There was never a Dolphins way. First, he tried to do the Patriots way. Then he tried to do the Chiefs way. Then he tried to do the Rams way. And now there is no which way he's correcting anything. And it's got to be someone else's way right now. It's over. It has to be.
Sammy, your thoughts on the offensive line play? To me, it wasn't. I was fine with what I expect. I think when I watch the All-22, I'm not going to be happy. Like what Curtis says. Curtis is very good at picking up. I have a hard time picking up during the game because I'm watching. I try to watch so many things.
Exactly.
Curtis is very good at picking up in the game, so I take his word for it. But I just think for what I expected, you had to give up the late game sack. What I expected, I thought they did probably as good as I thought they could. Sammy?
It's easy to see that the Patriots saw that they could beat the Dolphins one-on-one without blitzing, and they put enough pressure, and then dropping enough people to confuse Tua and to clog the middle. That was a strategy for the Patriots. I know Curtis and you and Bobby and Jason are the X and O's guys, but even for me, who I don't consider myself an X and O's guys, that was kind of obvious. They thought we could compete with the offensive line this week. We can compete 4-on-5, and we could probably still win if you drop enough people behind to clog the middle, that we should win. It worked for a while because they didn't get to Tua many times, but when they basically tried to get to Tua, they did. When the clutch, that's last year of the game, you knew they were coming, and Tua knew they were coming, and they kept pounding him every single time. So it wasn't as bad as I expected, just because they did enough. The strategy worked, but they did enough not to bring everybody at the offensive line. Instead dropping and see if they could get to Tua, and it worked. The defensive line was the problem just because they didn't attack it enough, if you ask me.
I just got to give some numbers here, just for some quick reference. Okay, so May was kept clean 80% of the time with 2.46 to throw. Tua was 66 with 2.15. May was pressured 19%, Tua 30%, and May was blitzed 41%, and Tua blitzed 10%. Just to understand that the leverage that they didn't use any leverage on their defense, and tripled the pressure rate, and had tripled the pass rush rate. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have 10% blitz and 30%. That's 3 times leverage with about 0.3 seconds less time to throw. So all they did was just sit in. So 90% of the time, Tua was throwing an 7-man coverage, where May was throwing 60% of the time into compromise coverage. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Let me see if I got those numbers right, because I'm so aggravated. So he's blitzed 40% of the time. So he had 40% compromised coverage in the secondary, where Tua had 10%. But they got more he only was pressured 18% compared to Tua 33. And they could run the football.
And they ran more pressure in the game. I thought they should have put more pressure.
They're not fast. They were playing they were playing not to get crazy. There weren't a lot of stunts. It was all straight rushes, and they got it when they needed
more man, Curtis. We need more man.
If you just look at the numbers, I'm going to do a comp between the two of them, and you're going to see the leverage is so skewed. It's not. You won't find anybody in the league that was blitzed 10% of the time, and threw a 2.15, and then had 30% pressure rate.
Yeah, I guess
it's not.
Yeah, I guess it on when I go back and probably look, I could my opinions could change, but just
sorry, I'm hot. I apologize.
Sorry, Bobby. Offensive line, right? Wasn't a big. It was a expectation wise, right? You agree with me there that it was down the list of problems, right?
Yeah, I think when we found out who we were rolling into this game with, we thought the worst. And I think that, to me, I thought you wasn't going to be able to get a damn snap off. You wasn't going to be able to even hand the ball off without the line being into his lap. And for me, and they did have a good way to get around it with the Achane outlet. Obviously, they really did have that planned. I mean, he basically ran out to the left and turned and looked into it every play. He may not have used them every play, but that same outlet was there every play. So, and that might have been hats off to McDaniel. If that helped, that helped. But the offensive line wasn't the deal breaker for me, especially when you have a whole unit on the other side of the ball with highly paid players, with good players that are just giving up 6 points over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
No secondary.
No. Man, shout out to the 236 on all platforms. If you're watching anywhere else, come on over to YouTube, drop that like, share the broadcast, come in the chat and join us. Dolphins lose a tough one, 33-27. Showed more life. It was an exciting game, but again, missed opportunities, penalties, turnovers, defense. Just who had Bobby, was it your GIF you had out there with the Swiss cheese or the shredded cheese? I'm going to play this clip here of Tua. Somebody said this to me, Tua talking. Let me just do it on the fly here, see how it works. Of Tua talking out after the game here.
Let me turn my headphones down.
All right. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Hey, my boy Curtis.
The lights went out. I got a huge storm over here. They flashed.
Play for those guys. We have too many guys in. Why do we have another guy running in? Just the whole operation of that was not up to standard, was not up to par. I got to do a better job with the guys in that sense. Well, we have until the 15-second mark until it cuts off with the communication with Mike. So depending on what the personnel is, depending on what we were trying to do there, if it was a wristband call or if it was a call it in the headset, there's a lot of things in that sense that play a role in if we're getting to the right things or if we're not getting to the right things. So that was sort of the mix-up of communication there.
Those two plays post-snap, can you take us through what you saw, both the interception and the sack?
Yeah, the interception was just trying to make a play, fourth down, and then the sack just trying to step up and try to maneuver through the pocket. Maybe we got something, and was just going to try to give one of the guys a chance.
Nothing. I didn't take much. Anything stand out to you guys there? Curtis, you're in the dark there. What happened? McDaniel, they turned the lights on over there?
We're all in the dark. We're all in the dark right now.
Jason, what did you hear? Anything? I didn't hear much there, but just
better than last week. But from that minor sample size, but nothing stands out relevant right now.
Yeah. Achane, we talked about it. Curtis, we talked about this with the coverage on the linebackers, right? Those guys, you can attack the middle field in coverage, and they did, right? They took advantage of it. Were you surprised when you see more Gordon?
Yeah, it was enjoyable to see him, but look, this secondary without Gonzalez has no coverage guys, slow linebackers. We were at home; they were hot. This was a perfect recipe. This was as good as it's going to get for us, and I love to see it. We unfortunately we get a penalty, we get a run, and it never allowed us to get on schedule to do.
I think they got Curtis over there.
Do that run game, but I don't think we could have eaten
anyway because
that front four. They just managed everything.
They don't like it. All right, so now what? We got Buffalo staring us in the face. I don't even know what to say about that. I think same shit as always. I'm tired of him and McDaniel talking.
I'll say
Won't be
this.
pretty.
Here we go.
The Buffalo Bills absolutely are going to know they're going into Thursday with the ability to destroy the Dolphins' whole organization. And I know Josh Allen and the Bills. They love to do it. And so honestly, if the Dolphins somehow show up Thursday, I will give them a lot of credit. I mean, I would give them so much credit because I know the Bills are showing up Thursday to end this whole era. I know that for a fact. And they're going to see it through. If the Dolphins can somehow weather the storm and compete Thursday night, I will be highly impressed. I don't see it happening, but I do know the Bills are going to show up Thursday with half the dinner already ate. Them boys are going to be drooling over that meal. Dude, it's going to be insane. I really do feel like it's just going to be bad.
It's a short week, and McDaniel, Allen came back. His nose they popped it back. If nobody watched today, they popped his nose back in place. He was gushing blood, came back, they still won. He'll be fine. I know there was some kind of talk going around if he was hurt or will be playing. He'll be back. Unless there was some sort of concussion thing, but he'll be playing this Thursday. Like Bobby said, he wants to end this Miami Dolphin era. The Bills get pleasure in this with the Dolphins. There's been that rivalry. I want to talk about this here. We'll start with you, Curtis. Did the Dolphins find something offensively though?
No.
Did they find any, or was it just Patriots? The way the Patriots were playing, a lot of cover 2 zone. Tua did a better job middle of the field. Did they find something more kind of going back? The old Dolphins, less, more Tyreek in pre-snap motion. I thought they tried to get guys isolated, a lot of kind of misdirection stuff, screens. What did you see? Did they find anything? Because it looked a little bit better as the game went on than previous week.
Terrible secondary and slow linebackers. Am I freezing? I'm not sure if I'm freezing or not.
Garfield
so it's just, if you go back and watch our wins throughout the years with this build, it's just we overwhelm them with talent. You keep 10% blitz rate is insane. That just totally says, they said this, we're playing, we're going to control the line of scrimmage with 4 on 90% of the plays, and Tua has to throw a 2-1-5. So we threw this in the league, had by far the least blitz rate, and threw into the thickest coverage, and pulled the blitz rate with almost double that in play action, and still got pressured 30% of the. We had a quality offensive line. You would see this more. But this was a perfect matchup at home with the Heat. It's not, you go look at the Colts. They have excellent 3 cover guys and a decent front 4. Cover linebacker happened. So this is just, it was nice to see McDaniel. This is what Tua can do if you set him up right. Easy reads and adjustments by McDaniel are going to happen, but this was the perfect work happen. It's not like we figured anything out. It's that we took advantage of an extreme weakness. That's why they played 90% no blitz, because they knew secondary was. So I hope I'm wrong. Whatever, I hope that they do whatever. The matchups was such like a disturbed, perturbation, and you'd see in normal games. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
Jason, do you think they found some changes, the adjustments they made that can at least get them respectable in the Buffalo game?
No, we know what they have. We know Achane should be thrown to a lot. We know Tyreek Hill should be thrown too deep. Nothing was rediscovered like we're reinventing the wheel here. The positives about this offense was used to the absolute maximum. And they even said it on the broadcast, like they don't have a pass catching tight end. They don't even have that.
Their tight end. Crazy.
They don't even have that dynamic, and to not even give your pass catching tight end Tanner Conner really any looks. It's not there. It's a personnel issue, and this A coach could only use what he has, and it goes back to now a general manager issue. If you know that you're going to have a problem with Jonnu Smith, make a better offer for Noah Fant. Address the situation in the draft. Don't trade for Darren Waller thinking that, oh, I got a smart idea. I'm going to go for a guy on sabbatical and trying to get on Def Jam instead of going to sign an absolute guy or trying to throw a deal for a Cole Kmet or a Mark Andrews, knowing that Isaiah Likely, obviously he got hurt, whatever. Yeah. But there could have been 4 or 5 different things to do in lieu of Darren Waller. But you nickel and dime a guy like Fant, and he ends up, I don't know what he did today with the Bengals. I didn't check out the line or anything. I know they had an amazing win, but he was the lead in receptions, tied for the lead in reception or targets last week for the Bengals week 1. So it's more of the what hasn't Greer done to prepare this team. And, Curtis, you said that Savaiinaia was not good today. We trade up to get him, which, great. They went up to go get, an interior lineman at detriment of getting out of the 3rd round where 9 cornerbacks were selected. And then 2 were selected up until your pick in Jason Marshall Jr. And I like Jason Marshall Jr. He did not play well today, but you had 9 or 10 other options if you didn't trade out of the 3rd or 4th round of viable, probably better pro prospects. So it just goes into the thing that we've been discussing for 3 or 4 years, most prevalently at the end of the 2023 year, where you didn't retain what was working for you. Robert Hunt, great year, didn't even give him an offer. Brandon Jones played great safety, didn't even give him an offer. And these are weaknesses.
DG.
I'm not even talking about that because that's redundancy for me. Every time I say Andrew Van Ginkel, more of my heart gets decrepit. It's unbelievable. I'm sorry?
We can't have that, Jason.
Thank you. So when I miss the name, I'm not forgetting the name. It's just I'm a broken record already. And Andrew Van Ginkel goes on to have a generational year last year that was comparable to Jason Taylor's Defensive Player of the Year season. Their numbers were similar. And one of the best players in the league of coming off the edge and like a stick-em wide receiver catching a ball and taking a pick 6. That's not an easy thing to do, and he's literally one of the best specialists at that aspect of the game. It's just unbelievable to me that there's this arrogance from Greer saying, all right, of the hits that I found in the draft, I'm just going to do it again. Wrong. You have to keep homegrown talent home and not recycle and try to do it again, or else we're going to be in this endless time loop of getting killed. And I'm worried about what's going to happen with Achane. I mean, look, if you're Achane and his representative and you're entering another rebuild, are you going to
huge money?
Forget the huge money. Remember, not everyone, a lot of people forget about this. Free agency, when it comes, is a two-way street. The Dolphins have to offer something to a player, and the player has to want to stay with the Dolphins. A lot of times those things haven't necessarily matched up. Oh, why didn't they bring back Connor Williams? He was out. He didn't want to stay. Oh, how could they not offer? How could Andrew Van Ginkel want to go home? They didn't offer him a contract. He would have stayed. Robert Hunt would have stayed. No contracts were offered. Brandon Jones, we're going to let these guys earn their free agency. Good for you. At least give them a choice.
Earn their free agency. That's not Sting.
That is literally, it's not me, it's you. That's the Costanza. No, it's you. It's you, Greer.
It's a reverse Costanza.
Sammy,
right.
When do we start trading guys off, Sammy? Who's first?
Jalen Phillips.
Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb.
Who knows?
Bradley Chubb will be the first one out.
Bradley Chubb might
he's
get
the only
a
one
fourth.
showing up.
Yeah,
Bradley Chubb might get a fourth. I would do that because but Tyreek, the team I had in mind for Tyreek was the Steelers because the Steelers are all in, so that would have been nice if they lost to the Seahawks. So who knows? It's early. I don't think you're gonna trade probably to the week before the deadline, so it's still early. But after Thursday, everything on the table because I don't think they can protect anyone. They everything might be inbounds as for the Dolphins trading anyone. So Tyreek, Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I want to talk about Bobby. Are you been disappointed with Minka Fitzpatrick early on?
I think biggest thing that disappoints me about him, which I can't even be disappointed because he seems to get ran over a lot, but it's also like he's putting his head in there. That's more than we've seen last year from safeties. And also, you watch the other safeties, and I'll spare them you watch the rest of the safeties on the field, and you realize that Minka Fitzpatrick is still far superior than anything else on that field.
Oh yeah,
So
was poor.
I would love to toss him into the fire, but I really can't with Minka. When he messes up, at least he's in there. He's involved.
This is I think I was on one show on the beginning of the season. They said, what guy is going to disappoint you? I said Fitzpatrick based on the expectations that everybody had of him, the All-Pro, the young kid that was here. He declined last year, and he's still a lot better than what we have. But I don't see the same player that was here when he was young and the early days in Pittsburgh. Curtis, you like me, you like to watch the All-22. How's Fitzpatrick's play been early on?
It's so hard because it's a unit, and Marshall's not there quite often. Dotson gets bites on stuff, so it's hard to tell. I don't think he's played poorly, but when you got a secondary that's this poor, it's very hard to produce. It's very hard to work as a unit because guys are all over the place. Guys are just not really. It's a very poor secondary other than him. There's nobody other than him that's playing even average. So what do? Like you could look at the front and say, oh, it's this or that. But when you've got that bad of a secondary, it's very hard to judge it, And same thing like we've said over years with Tua in the run game, even McDaniel, it all starts in the trenches. But after that, it's got to be a back end. Even if they had an average back end, but it's not. It's a below average back end, but Fitzpatrick. And it's very below. I mean, Marshall shouldn't be starting now. And you got Jalen Phillips, 7 pass coverage plays. He can't do it.
No, he cannot.
But you're trying to fit Chop and Chubb and Phillips on the field, and you give him the job because he's better than the other two guys, but it's terrible. Dotson's not there. No punched him. It's just terrible. You working, and even like you look at the offense. They've been on the field. The defense been on the field all the time. You get tired. You lose your mental focus. Your body starts. This is just an epic disaster, and it's hard. There's so much perturbations in like what's normal. This offensive line is not normal. The tight end group is not normal. The secondary is not normal. They're below average. So how do you go out there with elite receivers, elite running back, some elite talent on the front, and then you have well below average in these other areas? It's just not. It's not tenable. You've got to have at least average in these other position groups, but it's a black hole sucking everything down.
Yeah, and
other than that. I'm cheery and positive.
Sammy left this real good. Look, I want to say this. People are saying Grant a wasted pick. Calm down. It's a lot of these rookie linemen are struggling. Tate Rutledge didn't play well his first week. Will Campbell's up and down. Jared Wilson wasn't good. I wouldn't go that far. Look, I love Jonah. I love these two guys. Like I think all of us in this room did, right? And I still think they were the right picks for what this team needed. And sometimes the problem is when you go into a draft kind of needing to change your identity because you messed up in previous picks and previous roster builds, you're kind of forced in situations, right? Like, is Will Johnson? I can't sit here and tell you I had him number 5 on my board. We should have took Jonah over Will Johnson. It would make logical sense for me if I put one player at 5 and the other player at 37, that you should have took the player 37. But it's too early. Curtis, Bobby, people should calm down the rookie class, right? They're young. We still don't know yet. As Garfield was just dropping everybody out of here.
Dude, Chris Greer's going one by one.
He's like, son?
This is like trade deadline stuff. We're getting everyone out before it, but we have
he's back.
6 weeks until the trade deadline.
But
I'm not freaking out over young players yet.
People
I
are,
mean, look, dude, it's a bad unit, man. And you like, as a rookie, you kind of need to be protected and put in situations to thrive. And unfortunately, right now, no one's being protected. That unit is not good. You're in bad situations. You're playing from behind. You're on the field a lot. I mean, it's just not a lot of good things about it. That's not to defend them either. I mean, I'd like to see impact plays just as much as anyone. That comes from, and that's about everyone. So, really, like Curtis said earlier, it's just such a unit thing. It's hard to be like, this guy sucks.
When your best
when
players,
the other 10 are also sucking. It's like,
Zach Sealer.
I really don't know how bad Minka is. He might be covering up a lot. He might be making up some of the suck. I don't know. And that's why I'm not going to sit here and be like, this guy he isn't showing up on the stat sheet. What the hell is wrong with him? It's like, dude, I don't know what's going on in those coaching meetings and watching the film and where this guy, we don't really know what was supposed to happen on each play either because we don't know the exact play call. So it is hard to look at a defense and be like, this is terrible. Why are they getting more out of this?
Right.
Because the unit has been so bad. And it's such a mess.
Jordan Phillips is doing very well for his job.
Yeah.
Jordan Phillips is doing
I'm
very
curious to see the snap count versus him and Grant.
I think he got a little bit of promotion today.
Yeah, he got promoted. He got a great promotion today. He got a little promotion, and it's okay because they're both his rookie guys. So it's okay for Greer. But Tom Prince, shout out to my brother. Bob, you met him the other night.
Yes, sir.
Rookie defense. Look at Christian Wilkins' rookie year. So they do need time to develop.
3 years before he took off.
Yeah. Curtis, your thoughts on the rookie class? Are people overreacting, or is there general concern there for you, even though it's the first couple games?
I'd say these guys are very young, so you got to give it time. But the problem is Jonah, extreme technique issues. The foot comes up and down the same spot, and he's very young, and he was moved over to the other side at guard. So that's a big transition. And then Grant, you could see Grant's upper body. He's got those, he's not developed up there, but that's a guy. Wilkins took 3 years. So I'm not very concerned. I think the concern is that you got guys that were young and then you depend on them like you couldn't believe. And then you got no one really to work around him. Seal is having struggles too. He played pretty good in the run up, but it was, you got not enough, man. You got not enough. Chubb struggled a little bit in the run game. Chop struggled in the run game. I hope he's all right with the knee. And then you got too much edge stuff. The linebackers, they're not good at attack, stack, and shedding. And then you got guys that are not really great at, keeping them clean besides Phillips. And then no secondary. It's just very hard. Grant should have came in and been a piece of the puzzle, but he's expected to be a lot more. Marshall, I'm not high on. I think Marshall's probably the one I'm least high on because he's just it takes time to develop, but there's just something in there that I don't like. I could be wrong. Phillips is the best one so far, but he's got the least responsibilities, but he's the one who's got the world-class strength, and that means a lot. So give it time. Give it time. Give it time. But it's way more than a draft class. There's no way we were a draft class away.
Right. But I know people, it's early, and especially with linemen. But do you know what's going on with Sealer, Curtis? Because
he got up slow on the first play. And remember, he was hurt in preseason. We don't know what the guy's health is. And he's probably trying to cover up all the stuff. I don't know. But it's not terrible. He had a way better game this week, but he was going against a much lesser offensive line this week. But again, it's just you can only carry so much. And when you're surrounded by guys that are adding more and more to your plate, even the best struggle. I mean, he's very good. He's not all world. He's not the, Hall of Fame guy. He's very good, but it's too much. Guys are asked to carry too much because there's so many holes in all the spots. So I don't really, I'm not worried about him in any way.
Jason?
I agree with Curtis. I mean,
somebody's got to. I'm married. I don't get that often.
Oh, brother, no. you know your stuff. Trust me. Give yourself more credit, Curtis. Give yourself more credit. But I agree with you.
All right. I guess we're getting some final stuff here. Where do you see this team? As Sammy is back joining us.
Sammy.
We'll start from Sammy, and we'll go from Curtis, and we'll go up to the top. Where do you guys see this team at? We were in panic mode week 1. They lose a close one this week. Where do you see this team now? Does anything change for you in going into the Buffalo week? Sammy. You're
Muted.
I just put a Steve Hadden. Hi, Steve. They show signs of life because it's undeniable. They show signs of life today. They did some things that made us think like, they might be okay for seconds. Just some things they did that I always go to the Hopium, to Jason's Hopium that gave me, but
William this year, Sammy.
Jason's not doing Hopium. I
really?
But
3 times a week.
The term Hopium I learned because of you. I know you're real.
I am the creator of the term hopium. I just want that out there. If I did anything right in this world, I created that term.
Okay, I'll tell you. Hopium, patent pending. But they did something that shows signs of life, and that. But right now, they're basically limbo because we have signs of life, but we are comatose. We're basically just about to put the plug on Thursday. I don't see any way that but I don't see a way that they find a way to turn things around. We're seeing in other instances with teams like in the same situation, we'll go to Buffalo and find a way to win, and we'll say, "Wow, that was unexpected." But the Dolphins they have not shown that they have the mentality strong enough to do that kind of thing. Because other teams will go to Buffalo, will win the game, and say, "Okay, they're still alive," but not the Dolphins. I don't expect them to. So, they're in limbo right now, if you ask me.
All right, Curtis. Like it says, Takio, shit, Curtis.
Look, it's just the game of football's matchups and situations, and not everything is just like a repro to the next week. This
like
Patriots defense, matchups, totally. And this Patriots team has no coverage, and they're slow in their secondary. We were at home, and they so again 90% of the time they didn't blitz. So this was just a perfect. They gave us how many opportunities with their penalties and fumbled snaps and screw ups. This literally was as good as it gets against a low end team. So we are no bueno. We're less than no bueno. I'm sure we'll win a game here or there, maybe against the Panthers or the Saints, but this is not a class team. And when we go against a class team that's got a fuller roster, I wouldn't say better coaches, because remember that DC was out too. So they had McDaniels, who's a good coordinator, but they didn't really have a top DC. And we were at home baking them, and they're a perfect matchup. So the Bills, even the Jets, although we're home, but some of these other teams, it's not going to be pretty, man. We are, we're not anything. We're in big trouble.
I think you made a good point.
Remember,
there was talk of storm. It was going to be stormy. It was the heat. I thought you had them railing in the fourth quarter. So,
it was the Dolphins that looked tired, because the Dolphins looked more tired than the Patriots did.
Because that first halftime possession, they closed the gap in the second half, but that first half was looking like the Colts. All right, Bobby. Same old. There's nothing to take from this game, right? Like for you, we're in the same spot.
Yeah. So, like I said, after week one, everyone knew that everyone on this team was fighting for their job, and that's how you showed up week one. And that was devastating. To me, that was very eye-opening. Okay, well, you get embarrassed, and you're grown men. We're all grown men. You don't take getting embarrassed well. You know what I mean? You respond normally. You react. Well, this was the reaction to an embarrassment. You show up and get embarrassed again. So to me, it's like, I just think it's coming downhill pretty quick. I think, the dam was kind of patched with like bubble gum. And like on what's the movie? The Family Vacation movie?
Oh yeah.
The Hoover Dam.
Yeah. But he put that great.
Anyways,
that didn't end up too well for Chevy Chase, going right into the wall.
Yeah, well, there you go. Mike McDaniel was Chevy Chase.
Jason would come in with the movie.
But to me, it's like it's just over. And like, I hate to be this way, but look, would I love us to get hot and go on a run? I'd probably be sitting there cheering like an idiot. Yes. But I would. But I just think it's time. We need to really realize it. Also, to add to what Curtis said about we might win one against the Panthers or the Saints, they really need to make a decision quickly because right now we're 3rd overall in the draft. The only teams ahead of us are the Jets and the Saints. If you really want to commit, you play all these teams, you can really lock in and get yourself in a good situation if you do it right. I'm just putting it out there.
Ooh, you're getting me
If you're
excited.
gonna
You
do
know I
it-
love-
Now we're rooting to be really bad, but do that right.
Jason,
we can't even do that right.
I'll let Jason host the show. I'll start the separate draft channel already. You can handle all this stuff.
Another channel.
Another channel.
Oh.
It's not good, boys. And like,
Yeah, no.
look, I don't want to be here.
It's
This is
tough
the
doing
biggest
these
thing.
shows.
I feel fine talking like this because I have been the other guy so long.
Yeah.
I've probably given this team more credit they deserved. I probably stood up for Tua longer than he deserved. McDaniel, I've been that guy. I've been the homer. I've been rooting for the best because I want the best.
Yeah.
Sundays dictate my whole personality, brother. And that's real. Like, that's real. I don't want them to suck. I don't want to be tanking and rebuilding again. But I also don't want to see mediocre for another 10 years. So, like, it's time to pull the plug. It is.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that. Look, everybody up here does podcasts, right? Bobby, Bar, Sammy Fins TV, Curtis, Ace per Head, Jason with me, unfortunately for him.
Someone has to do it. Your show somebody has to do it.
I know what to deal with, especially behind the scenes, more than on air. But it's tough doing these things. It's hard. People don't want to watch Dolphin content. You know, they don't. As we got are we live from the stadium or are we back home, Jonathan?
Oh, can y'all see me?
You run to the hotel.
Yeah.
My boy got out of there quick.
Let me finish my point here before I introduce Zach Sealer on the show. That 92. You should take that off and do something with it, man. Oh, man, we got a full. Wait a minute. Let's go.
Baby.
We got Ash and Lou. We were just going to end the show pretty quick, and now everybody's coming in.
Turn out
What's
the lights. The party's over.
Screw my point. We'll go with Jonathan first. Jonathan, give us your thoughts. You were at the game. What was the vibe like?
Dude, it was pretty electric on that kickoff return. And then Patriots running it back was like a killer. Dude. I don't know. I'm just chokes, man. Chokes in big moments.
So for you at the game, Tua was on the stat sheet. It looked good, but at the game,
I can't believe Tyreek went over 100 yards because
who's in the background, they can come in and join. If you is that
this is Tanya. Y'all know Tanya.
Nice rivalry jersey I saw on Twitter.
Oh yeah. I might return it, but.
Were you at the game? You were at the game too, right? Go ahead and give us your thoughts on the game. What was it like for you at the stadium? Different perspective from us at home watching it. It was entertaining though, right? I'll say that.
Depressing, to be honest.
Depressing?
Yeah.
He's very sad.
Yeah.
I can tell. She can't even speak. All right.
Every time the Patriots did something, there was a lot
We'll
of
go
cheers.
to the Dolphins couple.
The first couple of Dolphin
Also, how
Nation.
was
Say it right,
the
George.
ratio?
Say it right.
First couple in Dolphin Nation. We had a chance to meet. I got my bracelet. You guys need to go do that. Check her. I tweeted it out. I checked Lou, Ash. Lou, smile, man. I know it's tough. I see you back there. How was it?
Keep driving, Lou. Keep driving.
Keep your eyes on the road, Lou.
Watch the road.
Drive off the road right now.
Now it's me in it. Now it's me in the car.
Not even a slice of pizza could help Lou out.
I know those guardrails are looking delicious right now, but stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Sammy, I literally feel like I'm flaring up. Inside Crohn's joke.
Yeah, you know.
Sammy, like my stomach is like I literally feel like I'm having a flare up right now.
Wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day we're gonna feel it. Wait until tomorrow. All this stress, come on. You know where it goes.
Guys, like we're literally boarding a plane in 2 days to go see the shit show live in Buffalo. Like I and Lou was like, this is crazy. I'm like, babe, we're going up there to Niagara Falls and Toronto. The Buffalo part is like
I was gonna say,
40 hours.
don't go to Niagara Falls. Don't
We
go
are.
there. You might be.
Who's going to watch Lou?
And
Who's
Toronto.
watching Lou? I need to know.
Yeah.
Just go sightseeing, get you some good buffalo wings, and
That's it.
let's
Yeah.
promote the game on
We've
Thursday.
been told the barbecue is great over there, so lots of barbecue.
Yeah, guys, hey, super disappointing. You know, to say the least. Coach obviously has to go. I'm not sure. I tweeted this out. I'm not sure if it made TV or not. But Jalen Waddle was absolutely just throwing his hands out,
So mad,
screaming at the sideline for not getting in a play on that last doomed drive of the game. And this has happened now several times a game for the last 4 years under McDaniel. Just has no accountability. He cannot run a ship properly. And I'm sorry, there's just no way this could continue. So he's got to go.
So
100%.
Yeah, on the water play, those are the last the last couple plays on that last drive. You're saying?
Oh yeah, on the last when it was you know, the last drive, they couldn't get the play in, you know, and Waddle just was
livid,
throwing his hands up in the air and screaming at the sideline. I know it didn't come out on TV, but I feel his pain. You know, he's one of the players who's got talent, wants to win. He's not in with a sideshow like Tyreek is, and unfortunately, you know, the team let him down, as they've let all of us down, and it's just an unprepared team under Mike McDaniel.
For now.
I think this is an on-current thing, reoccurring problem with McDaniel. We talked about this before. It's like he'll take Waddle and Hill and run them 60 yards down the field on first down, and then you got nobody's out there with the game on the line. It's like Waddle's bent over, sucking air on his knees, and now we got to go win the game. It's like, okay, that's great.
That always happens.
These are the little things, though. I mean, these are the little things that are costing us. You're in a 27-33 game last week. These are the little details, and this has been going on, you know, for how many years with McDaniel now? He has to learn. You know, how was the crowd's reaction after? Like, was it depressing? Deflating.
No, it was like you couldn't even like the Patriots fans. You know, they won. They're yapping. Okay, whatever. But like, even if you saw friends, you just went right past them. Like, you couldn't even say anything. I mean, all right, I didn't want to say anything to anybody.
There's nothing to say. And listen, after the first series alone, just to set the tone, by now you guys all saw that the Fire Greer and Fire McDaniel plane was flying around. But after that first series alone, the team was greeted to boos coming off the sideline. So it was a very nervous crowd going in. You know, 12-0 start, got back and cut the lead to 1 at halftime, but didn't finish the game. And just, the crowd.
And I'll tell you guys, like, I'm not one to boo my own team, right? Like, I'll bite, you know, not say anything, but I did boo, and it felt like good to let it out, right? And it was a sick feeling to just boo your own, you know, your own colors, your own team, but well deserved.
Yeah, I didn't boo, but
I did.
I can't blame her for doing it. That's for sure.
I booed.
So McDaniel gone. How soon you want to get rid of him, Lou?
Friday.
I would not let him go. If I'm Ross, I don't let him get on the plane. I'm sorry. I know there's only 2 days.
We talked about this
Wednesday. I get it, but man, it's just. Has he even done his press conference yet? What is he going to say? He's going to ramble on like he does. It's going to be a total disaster. I wouldn't let him do it. But first thing Friday, it's Black Friday on Friday. He's gone.
There you go. Jonathan, who goes first? McDaniel, Hill? Who are we trading? Give me the Dolphins post aftermath here after being at the game, because you can't even speak. I see the depression on your face, Jonathan.
McDaniel's going first, dude. I don't think Tyreek's tradable with all the allegations.
Oh, I think somebody will.
You think?
Oh, yeah. But the Chiefs, the Steelers, somebody will give you.
He might have ruined our value. He might have ruined our return, but somebody would definitely take him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, at this point, let him go. But I don't see McDaniel being here. By the time the Spain game comes up, he's gone.
He makes it that far?
Yeah. Well, no, not at all. I told Tanya, I was like, y'all are going to the game in Spain? I guarantee you, he's not even going to be the coach. Y'all are going to have an interim head coach at that point.
Yeah.
I think
Lou Ash, did you take anything out of this game? Like, did you get it? Did they, from your point of view on the field, watching the game, did they do something? They came back that first 2 drives, you're like, oh no, here we go again. This is like McDaniel's fired like at halftime.
My heart and soul was left at the game, but what was taken from the game, though?
No, just keep feeding A-Chan. Can't stop that guy. But look, Tua had an overall, I guess, good game decent. Stat-wise. But look, took that sack at the end. That's the real. He got an interception back because of the offsetting penalty. And that ball to Tyreek, it happened right in front of us. That was a dead duck. I mean, that was one of those, hey, let's just throw it out there and see if Tyreek could get it. So that could have been an interception as well. So unfortunately, he did not, silence the critics that are out there. And we're right back where we started.
Yeah, and he was like 5 yards downfield, 5 yards down, beating the defender. And I mean, it would have to be like it was a duck, but he got there. But all right, going to Buffalo, you guys are going to be there. You guys have your travel to 305 Sports. Tell us about what's going on. You guys are going to Buffalo. How pumped are you guys going to Buffalo?
So we leave Wednesday. We're actually hosting a great party Wednesday night. We're expecting over 125 Dolphins and Bills fans. So anybody who's going to Buffalo at this point, Bills or Dolphins fans, come to the draft room in downtown Buffalo starting 7 o'clock on Wednesday. We have a great raffle supporting DCC. It's a great place. The beer is going to be fantastic.
Yep, and I want to add also we're going to be we're going to post it tomorrow. We got a special sticker coming out to commemorate the battles between Bruce Smith and Richmond Webb. We're trying to get Richmond Webb into the Hall of Fame, and what a better thing to do than have hopefully the Buffalo fans join us in our efforts and maybe try and get Richmond over the top.
Yeah, so we will be in Buffalo. We're going there soon.
I heard there was a rumor about if somebody wins, there's a streaking thing or some rumor out there. What is that true? Can you confirm or deny this?
She said that on the podcast recording. She said if we win, streaking.
I may have said
we're talking about Lou here, not you, Ash. By the way, we're talking about Lou.
That but if the Dolphins somehow, by the grace of all the gods and all the upstairs, win on Thursday, I might have said that I might have gone streaking in the Niagara Falls.
How about this? We'll just Lou can do it, right? Like you can.
There will be.
You're my boy, Lou.
Lou.
I saw what you did there. You're my boy, Lou. Nice.
Must be a movie reference in Jason chimed in.
Oh my God.
That was a great reference with old school and bringing back the blue to Lou. That
it's
was
amazing.
Fantastic.
One thing I know about Jason learning is like there's nothing movie wise that's going to get by him. Nothing. All right, so give us your final thoughts of everything as you're depressingly driving home, trying to swerve traffic. And
yeah, look, this was a must. And we didn't do it. And worst of all, this was Mike. We talked about this before. This was Mike Vrabel's first year, his second game back as a Patriots head coach, and he's already caught up to McDaniel. As a matter of fact, he's past McDaniel because we're not gonna win Week 17.
Wait, is that Drake May? Is that go ahead, go? Is it Drake May?
Yeah, it's it. He passed McDaniel in Week 2. And that's it. That's nothing else to say about that.
Mike Vrabel, I think I've been saying that, go all the way back to the Titans.
Yeah.
Got to his number, man.
All right, Jonathan.
How's the traffic, Lou? How's the traffic?
It's gridlocked. We live like 10 miles away, and we've been in traffic for the last hour.
Give us a traffic update, Ash, in your best traffic voice.
In
your best traffic voice.
Below the Golden Gates is a complete gridlock. People are driving the shoulder, driving erratically. It's like zombies on steroids here. So they're mad about the loss, and they just can't drive. So it's just wonderful right now.
Typical Hard Rock.
All right, Jonathan, take us out. What are your final thoughts here?
Well, we'll see what happens in Buffalo. I mean, I ain't expecting much at this point. But
we're on to Buffalo.
We're on to Buffalo.
We're to Cincinnati.
Are we rooting for the Dolphins just so Luke can streak? I mean, what's the deal here? I think I'm almost more than anything. I'll be more excited about that.
We should have a draft party.
Oh wait, but I do got a question.
Okay.
How bad is it gonna get until? Do you think Tua gets benched at some point?
No.
Or you think he's gonna play out the whole season? Because I was talking.
I think injuries will only bench him.
That was the discussion we were having in the car.
No.
He had at one point during the game, he had a perfect passing rating. Just saying.
Yeah, no, he's clear. As much as he wasn't bad in this game. I thought he was better in the middle of the field. I thought he took what they gave him on defense and the deep cuts and the out. He threw the ball outside the numbers better than he has been recently. He's 10 times better than Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers. I know maybe not Ewers, Jonathan, but he's 10 times better than Wilson and Ewers. But you guys, anybody want to answer that? Do you see
to be different, I'll say there could be a chance. I mean, if you start firing coaches and stuff, there's not really much benefit to rolling Tua out there.
Yeah.
You don't need him getting hurt and ruining any chance of flipping him in the offseason and anything else. So I feel like if you really do buy all into like, oh, we're tanking, we're blowing this thing up, there's no benefit to winning ball games. I can absolutely see a world where they're like, Tua, sit down. We don't need that problem. Zach Wilson, carry us home, baby. Or Quinn Ewers, however you want to do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care how you bake the cake, as long as the cake gets baked. I don't really care.
You want the number one pick? Go ahead and put Zach Wilson in. That's like the Josh Rosen experiment. Anybody else want to chime in on the bench Tua? Jason, Sammy,
on Thursday?
I agree. I agree. Go ahead, Sammy.
On Thursday, if they're trailing, sadly that's where Tua starts pressing, and that's where the injury and the concussions come. So if they're trailing by more than like 17, I bench him for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I bet. The only thing I agree with on Bobby on that is if they're say week 13 or 3-10, let's just ride it out with Zach Wilson, because that means Tua hasn't played well, and you're clearly looking for an answer in the draft no matter what. I think it's guaranteed they're taking quarterback in this 26th draft because they are the quarterback.
Oh my God! You take George. You take two.
Yes,
Utah. Give me two.
But wait a minute.
There's another
the reason
movie
why
reference.
I say that is because this draft has the quarterbacks that the thing we haven't tried yet. Big, athletic, strong quarterback. Who knows? Can make plays with his feet. Might work. Any Ashley, you guys are good.
If we've learned from anything, George,
we're just numb and we're just trying to get home and just shower and just forget about what happened.
How hot was it, Lou? How hot was it?
Oh, it was hot out there, man.
Not hot enough for the Patriots.
For the Patriots.
Unreal.
At this point, put George as the interim head coach.
I have a request.
No, I go GM.
What the more big put George in?
My strength is personnel. I'm the GM. We'll put Jason or Bobby.
The Dolphins are going to draft a quarterback.
Oh, guaranteed. I want the Sellers kid. I know he had a concussion.
The Dolphins are going to draft a quarterback.
We're already.
And I just have two requests.
Holy crap.
Please.
We got a podcast to run. We can't be doing quarterback draft talk in September.
I want to hear it, Josh. Stop it. I want to hear it.
The two requests for a quarterback will be not a wide receiver converted to a quarterback. That's number one. And number two.
Apparently, Bill Parcells thought Pat White was the guy who was going to change the quarterback.
No, I'm talking about Ryan Tannehill. Not a wide receiver converted to a quarterback. Secondly, if someone has a very detrimental hip injury, you might want to look elsewhere at that position to make it a fifth overall pick. And I'm not saying this offensively, but you have to invest properly in the most important position on the field. A pure quarterback and someone who's healthy. Thank you.
Call 911.
Lou, my brother says take one for the team, Lou. By the way, he loved meeting you guys.
Oh yeah,
at the party.
Since we're taking requests on quarterback, I want mine 6'4" and with hands like the Big Show.
All right. Well, I think we'll end it on there. We went an hour and 23 minutes. We got both. We got a short week, so we got a ton of shows. Monday, Tuesday, we got a special guest on Wednesday. So stick with us, follow us, drop those likes. Check out all these guys who are on the panel, the dive bar. Great meeting everybody at Bobby's live event. You guys killed it, Bobby. It was great meeting you in person. Jason, sorry, as always, you're stuck with me. Jonathan, great meeting you as well. Vince, Sammy, and Vince TV. We'll check him out everywhere on Vince TV on Tuesdays. All right, guys. Let's hope we have something better to talk about. I just don't think it's going to happen next week. I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of draft show talk, but stick with us. We're all going to go through this therapy together. All right. For all of us here, fins up. We are out, guys.
Fins up, guys.